So one of the goals we have for this California OpenNotes Consortium is to include patient voices in every single call, not just me, but many others. And so today I'm excited to introduce our first presenter, Susan Mahler. Susan has been a patient of Kaiser Permanente in Southern California for over 50 years, as a baby, I'm sure, and is a current member of both the San Diego Kaiser Permanente's Patient Family Centered Care Council and also the patient co-chair of the Kaiser Permanente Southern California Regional Patient Advisory Council. So she's very involved. Susan has also been an elementary school principal and has had an amazing patient journey, which I can't wait to hear more about. So take it away, Susan.
Thanks, Liz. It's all about those notes, open notes, open notes. Well, it's all about those notes, open notes, open notes. Your patients want to see open notes, open notes. It's all about those notes, open notes, open notes. I thought I would just kick this off with a little parody, thanks to Megan Trainor and her song, It's All About the Bass, that bass. You're looking at a picture, and here you see the Regional Patient Advisory Council in Southern California meeting with the two top leaders. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that meeting in a second. I want to start by saying I am a patient, and if the patient is truly a part of his or her medical team, if your medical group, or in my case, Kaiser Permanente, really believes this partnership is embedded or should be embedded in your culture, then for goodness sake, it's essential for that patient to have access to all that pertains to his or her health care. So what was happening in this picture is Dr. Ed Ellison and Julie Miller Phipps, the two top leaders in Southern California, sat down with our regional council. And one of the discussion items for that day happened to be open notes. And after that discussion, there's not a doubt in my mind that when Dr. Ellison walked out of that room, he knew from patients themselves how important it was to have these clinical notes available to every single Kaiser Permanente patient in Southern California. Next slide. Voila! A big thank you to Dr. Ellison for listening to the patients, because we now have open notes available to every patient in every medical center in Southern California. Now, there's 33 million patients across the United States with access to their notes. Interestingly enough, 4.5 million do have the opportunity here in Southern California, but out of that 4.5 million, 2.4 million are actually registered on kp.org. Therefore, they can see their notes. Now, this concept obviously is taking transparency to a totally different level. Okay, so the notes are there. They're there. But your average patient is going to ask, what in the world is open notes? And how in the world do we let patients know that these notes are literally at their fingertips? What good is it to have these available to your patients if they don't know what they are and they don't know how to go about finding them? We had a discussion right here in San Diego with our Patient Advisory Council last month, and we talked about open notes. Now, this is a group that's more in the loop than your average patient, and yet there was genuine surprise and excitement when we started telling them about open notes and how they could find them here on their visit summary. Now, here in Southern California, they're called notes, and we can find them by going online, and at the top of the page it says visit summary in great big bold letters. Next to that in small letters, it says notes. Absolutely nothing that would jump out to me as a patient to do anything about. So here we are with our clinicians' notes available. It's time to get the word out to all the patients. It's time to brainstorm how we're going to go about doing that. Now, one possible solution is, you can see on that slide, and it's a possibility, sending out an automatic link to their open notes after every patient visit. Possibility. Another possibility that I think would be very simple is visit summary in bold letters. Next to it, it says notes. Criminy, make that notes big, bold it, color it, put fireworks around it, put asterisks around it, so that when the patient sees that word, it really jumps off that page and hits them in the head, figuratively. Now, it also would be helpful after the word notes to have a short explanation of what notes means, and then just the simple instruction telling the patient to click on the word notes. I know our regional council is excited about talking about this more and brainstorming more possible solutions to get the word out. Down below you can see it's quite telling when research reflects a 6 times increase in care plan adherence after patients have reviewed their notes, especially in the area of medications. Next slide. Now, I know we have representatives on this call from various medical groups. I want to leave you with 2 important thoughts concerning your patients coming from a patient. Not sure if you have patient advisors associated with your medical group or open notes available to all of your patients. But if not, why not? This slide proclaims our belief, and it's shared by our 2 top administrators who you see there, through this saying that we have adopted: nothing about patients without patients. And I need to thank Tom for a little bit of history here, because he informed me that that saying has quite a history of its own. So thanks, Tom. But the important thing I want to say is the Patient Advisory Council was the driving force. And then Dr. Ellison, he followed through with the action to provide open notes to every single patient here in Southern California. So I just want to end by sharing how important this is to me personally. 18 years ago, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Now, my entire heart journey over that 10-year period is quite a lengthy story, and I sure don't have time to go into it now. That's for another time. But in 2010, I received my very own miracle, a heart transplant. Cedars-Sinai truly gave me the second life that I'm living right now, every single day to its fullest. Thank you, Dr. Kabashagawa and Dr. Trento. And for 10 years, Kaiser Permanente literally kept me alive, Dr. Howard and Dr. Keene, so that I could receive my miracle. Now, when one goes through that type of medical experience, and for that long, you really become close to your providers. They're my people. And in my case, I was and continue to be in the hands of so many ologists. If I had had open notes during that tenure, during that period, my connection with these gifted and talented and special doctors would have been even more. I am a patient, and I am thrilled to have access to another piece that pertains to my health care. Thanks.